to my fellow freedom lovers, sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to the LLP podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy Mango, South Florida. And today's date is Friday, April 23rd, 2021. Yeah, I got some stuff done today. And I had to listen to a couple of other ordeals that's going on around the country, the world, locally, etc. It looks like Robert Muncie and Council Strickland have been suspended for crimes against them, allegedly. They've been indicted for involvement of funds and so forth, perjury, and displaying information on the grand jury proceedings, like unpublished stuff. And so it's very interesting. Like I said, some people know they're corrupt individuals, but like I said, all suspects are innocent to proven guilty at the court of law. And I am at downtown saloon located at 10 South New River Drive East in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, along the New River, by the Broward County Jail and courthouses, southeast section of off the Andrews Avenue Bridge. Well, looks like I saw the reason why they had the flags half-staffed for the Walter Mondale passing passed. So he was a career politician, of course, vice president under the Carter administration. I wasn't never really too crazy about him, but the man lived a long life. So may his soul remain forever free. All right. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Well, speaking of Broward County. Interesting report here from freeflorida.me, and it was written by a gentleman named Chris Nelson, who was actually the head coordinator for the Million Masks March, which happened on April 10th, almost 2 weeks ago, which was a success. And I'm on his feed, so if you go to freeflorida.me, subscribe. Good stuff, and a lot of it's Florida related, but this one here was in Broward County, and this is mainly on exclusive documents. Broward schools teaching pro-LGBTQ, anti-white, anti-American propaganda to children as young as kindergarten. And it came out today. I was like looking at my phone doing laundry, and I seen this. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be perfect. So this is what he has to say here. On the heels of the arrest of Broward County school attendant Robert Muncie, Free Florida has been provided with documents showing a troubled pattern in school curriculum. On the basis on anonymity, a teacher with the Broward schools has provided documents that showed a racist, anti-American, and pro-LGBTQ curriculum is being taught to children as young as kindergarten. Broward County School Policy Board policy mandates that diversity be promoted in the classroom. Reads an email from a Broward elementary principal. The name has been verified but redacted. And it says that diversity is expressed in design as being inclusive. An inclusive curriculum can include, but not limited to, literature written by LGBTQ authors, history including LGBTQ public figures, discussion of families including LGBTQ parents, recognition of LGBTQ events or history months. Our students will be exposed to literature and a discussion center around how it takes everyone to make our community great. The email concludes, according to the source within the Broward schools, the district does not believe it has to inform parents of this type of curriculum because they label it diversity. So it's interesting here, okay? So they believe they don't have to inform parents. But I'll just keep going, okay? This curriculum includes pro-LGBTQ children's books like Pride by Bob Sanders, which celebrates the life of Harvey Milk, the first openly gay man elected to office in California. Milk had a romantic relationship with a 16-year-old boy named Jack McKinley when Milk 34. So, can we say statutory rape? always believe in the rights of individuals as long as you don't violate others. Okay, like I may have my disagreement with this particular activity. If they're consenting adults, that's one thing. But if it's a minor, there's some controversy, of course, and I'm not really too keen about it, even if it's heterosexual relationship with this same predicament. Okay, so just let you know, folks know, I do across the board. The source provided screenshots of other books they will be required to teach students next semester, which includes vicious anti-American, anti-white, pro-Marxist, and pro-witchcraft titles. One called as The Beautiful Struggle, a memoir by Ta-Nehisi Coates. In the description, Coates says his father was committed to raising proud black men equipped to deal with a racist society. Another is Into the Streets by Marque Bashir, hopefully I pronounced that person's name correctly, described as a visual voyage through resistance in American history, which include LGBTQ demand for equality, Black Lives Matter protests, and George Floyd protests. Somehow the Tea Party made it on that list as well. The anti-American books are plentiful, including You Call This Democracy by Elizabeth Rush, which talks about the issues with Electoral College and voter suppression. Undocumented, A Worker's Fight by Duncan Tornado, a story of immigrant workers who have come to America without papers. So it's technically is endorsing illegal immigration, which is part of the Club of Rome agenda, by the way. The list includes books that attack the U.S. Constitution and the Second Amendment, including The Fault Lines in the Constitution by Cynthia Levinson and Sanford Levinson, The Second Amendment and the Fight Over Guns by Hannah Bajarmovic, Promise You Will Discover the Truth About the Second Amendment of the NRA, and Glimmer of Hope, the official definite book from the March for Our Lives founders. Books celebrating voodoo and witchcraft are also on the docket for the fall semester, including American Street by Ibi Zobey, a lyrical exploration to America with magical realism and voodoo culture. The days of learning about Ben Franklin appear to be over. Supporting screenshots are attached below, and I have looked at these things, and I'm just gonna, go through this. There's not a whole lot here. Let me see. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, 10 photos. Of course, you got the Broward County School. All right. And, of course, the important curriculum question has been redacted. And it says here, I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. Broward School Policy Board Policy 1.5 mandates that diversity be promoted in the classroom. Diversity is expressly designed as being inclusive. An inclusive curriculum can include, but not limited to, literature written by LGBTQ authors, history, including LGBTQ public figures, discussions of family, including LGBTQ parents, recognition of LGBTQ events, or History Month. Our students will be exposed to literature, and the discussion centers around how it takes everyone to make our community great. Please let me know if you have any further questions. Have a great day. The person's name is redacted, and it has been verified according to. Sorry about that, Chris. So let's see what they have here. Let's see what else they have in here. And of course, the one on Pride. And I love when it says Amazon's Best Children Book of the Year selection. Amazon, okay? 40-year celebration of the Rainbow Pride flag with the very first picture book to tell its remarkable and inspiring history. And, of course, it talks about Harvey Milk, social activist Harvey Milk, and Gilbert Baker, to span the globe of the world in today's world. So it tells you all about that. And, of course, American Street. It says here is an evocative and powerful coming-of-age story perfect for fans of everything Everything Bone Gap and All American Boys. And it talks about voodoo and, let me see here, in a stunning debut novel, of course, Russia-nominated author Ibi Zoboi draws her own experience as a young Haitian immigrant, infusing in this lyrical exploration of America with visual realism and voodoo culture, okay? And you can read it for yourselves here, so I'm going to keep on going. A Glimmer of Hope, March for Our Lives, and in keeping with the ongoing fight to end gun violence in all communities, the students, leaders of March for Our Lives have decided not to be paid as authors of the book. 100% of the net proceeds of this book will be paid to March for Our Lives Action Fund. And of course, you have here, Glimmer of Hope provides a blueprint of launching social change, NPR.org. All right, and of course, 17 Magazine Best Book of 2018, the Clarion Call to Action for Teens by Teens, and his moving and powerful book list starred review. So, gun control. I call it fun because I called March for Our Lives the Children of the Khmer Rouge. Because Pol Pot used children to do some heinous, murderous actions on older people and torturing them to death. I recommend folks look at I think it's called S21. That's the name of the place people got tortured and murdered. S21. Okay, of Cambodia, in Cambodia. So the killing fields as well. It's very disturbing. All right, and remember, Pol Pot was pro-gun. Pol Pot and his Khmer Rouge were pro-gun control, victim disarmament. That's why I'm not afraid to call out these parasites from March for Our Lives and all these other quacks. It says here, you call this democracy. That's the question. America is the greatest democracy in the world, isn't it? Author Elizabeth Roach examines some of the most problematic aspects of our government, but more importantly, offer ways for young people to fix them. See, show me in the U.S. Constitution that we're a democracy. It's not. It's invalid. It's irrelevant. And it's illegal. All right, and I'll just go right down here. On the the third paragraph of this. To the power to change lives of citizens of this great country, especially teens, rather than pointing fingers at people and political parties, you call us democracy. Looks at the flaws of the system and offer real way out of the mess are in. Each chapter breaks down a different problem plaguing American democracy, exploring how it's undemocratic, offering possible solutions, for example, real-life teens who have already started working toward them, and suggesting ways to effect change starting now. All right, so they don't believe of a constitutional republic. They want to make it a democracy, mob rule, 50% plus one. Everything should be centralized. All right, so I'm going to centralize government. So that's what comes down to it. This is pretty self-explanatory. And this one here says documented. Undocumented. Undocumented is a story of immigrant workers who have come to the United States without papers. Every day these men and women join the workforce and contribute positively to society. The story is told via an ancient Mitex Codex accordion fold format. Juan grew up in Mexico, working in the fields to provide for his family. Struggling for money, Juan crosses over the United States, becomes an undocumented worker, living in a poor neighborhood, working hard to survive. Though he's able to get a job as a busboy at a restaurant, he is severely undercompensated. We receive less than half of minimum wage. Risked his boss reporting to the authorities for not having proper resident papers. Juan risked everything and stand up for himself and of the rest of the community. So we can say, one is one of the things I can tell you. Okay, let me just rephrase that. This is more of a pro Club of Rome platform. And, of course, they have one on Palestine down here. We're just interested about that because you got Palestine's very interesting. So, not going around anti-Jew or anything like that, but there's a lot of questions on how all that occurred when Israel, they took a lot of Palestinians out of certain areas. It's a lot, very complex indeed. So, but it's mainly undocumented. I'm really concerned with. And of course, the book here, the Second Amendment and Fight Over Gun Rights. Discover the truth about the Second Amendment, the NRA, and the United States' centuries-long fight over guns in this first of its kind book for middle grade readers. A compelling, clear analysis of one of our country's oldest dilemmas, how to balance gun rights and public safety. It tells the full and true story of the Second Amendment and points a way to bring sanity to our gun laws. A remarkable primer for all ages. Michael Waldman, author of The Second Amendment, a biography. That's one of his things here. And it says here in the paragraph below that, for the majority of the United States history, the right to own a gun belonging to a well-regulated militia. That changed in 2008 with the historic of District of Columbia versus Keller case, which ruled that the Second Amendment protected individual rights. In the years since, the debate over gun legislation has reached a crescendo, and the issue grows ever relevant to children across America, with an estimated 3 million exposed to shootings every year. From metal detectors to see-through backpacks to shooting drills, kids face daily reminders of the threat of guns. I gotta be very frank. The person who wrote this is nothing more than an effing liar, excuse my language. Okay, well-regulated militia. A militia is everybody inhabitant body. Okay? Sometimes it's men between 18 to 65, 18 to 45. And I know about the 1792 militia. For white folks, I'm not going to debate on that by any means. I did read about it, which I disagree. And here's the thing. Don't forget the Ninth Amendment, enumerated rights, are not going to be disparaged or spared. Okay, or construed. I'm just paraphrasing. You can talk about the Second Amendment, get rid of the Second Amendment all you want, but the Ninth Amendment still stands. This one here is irrelevant. I got plenty of ammunition to back that up if you want to challenge me, school board. Of course, fault lines in the Constitution. It says here the latest volume in the World Citizen Comics graphic novel series, Fault Lines. The Constitution teaches readers how this founding document continues to shape modern American society. In 1787, after 116 days of heated debates and bitter arguments, the United States Constitution was created. This imperfect document set forth America's guiding principles, but it would also introduce some of today's most contentious and political issues, from gerrymandering to electoral college to presidential impeachment. With colorful art, compelling discourse, and true stories from America's past and present, Fault Lines of the Constitution, the graphic novel, shed light on how today's political struggles have their origins in the decision of our founding fathers. Children's book author Cynthia Levison, constitutional law scholar, Sanford Levison, an artist, definitely illustrated how contemporary problems arose from this founding document, and then they offer other possible solutions. Well, here's the thing. The men who wrote the Constitution were brilliant individuals. They had a lot of foresight. You're always going to be aware of tyrannical individuals, and they knew that. It's up people like us to make sure we preserved it to the fullest, no exceptions. But sometimes I get so turned off, and I would love to read these. I'll probably be laughing at them. And right here, this one here, The Beautiful Struggle by Tanisha Coates. Adapted from the adult memoir from the #1 New York Times best-selling author of The Water Dancer and Between the World and Me. This father-son story explores how boys become men, and quite specifically how Tanisha Coates became Tanisha Coates. Nishi. So it says here, as a child, Tanisha Coates was seen by his father, Paul, as too sensitive and lacking focus. Paul Coates was a Vietnam vet who had been part of the Black Panthers and was dedicated to reading and publishing history of American civilization. When it came to his sons, he was committed to raising proud black men equipped to deal with the racist society during a turbulent period in the collapsed city of Baltimore where they lived. Coates detailed with Condor the challenging of dealings with his tough-love father, the influence of his mother, and the dynamics of his extended family, including his big brother Bill, who was in a very different path than Tanisha Coates. Also tells the family struggle at schools with girls, making a timely story in which many readers will relate. So you gotta always look at those areas too. One thing I always tell folks, we're gonna expect obstacles.
I didn't put the T on it.
Cool.
Thank you.
No problem.
So it's just a chicken.
I'll take care of it, thanks. Yeah, so just gonna take care of my order here. Other good people here. So there's a lot of questions in these things. How come they're gonna bring this information to the people? All right, we should teach them about basic history, how it started, and multitask. All right, I recommend folks, give the students stuff from Chris Van Hall about how about the Constitution, what the founding fathers talk about, and even many individuals from different ethno backgrounds, how they fought in the American Revolution, like John Armistead. There's a whole big list I can forget, but one of the books I always recommend too will be the 5,000 Year Leap. Look that up. I don't have the author's name on top of my head, but many of the curriculum here, I do call it treasonous for sure. It is purely unacceptable. Many of the stuff they want to provide here is mind control. Okay, mind control, and some even with the LGBTQ community. I'm not here to crucify people in that group by any means. I met beautiful people, individuals from all walks of life. I learned about this stuff without them teaching me this in school. Give me a break. Teach them the basic skills that they can prepare themselves instead of dumbing down, treat them as slaves or numbers. This is an example of the dumbing downing of America. And Broward County leads to this. Based on this curriculum, I'm just wondering how many people on the board are for it, including the superintendent, Robert Runcie. Remember, Mr. Runcie is Obama's buddy. According to even something, he's from Chicago. Him and Barack Obama are friends. The Promise Program, if I'm correct, was done by executive order, never been approved by the House of Representatives and the Senate. So it's unconstitutional, period. And not informing students, the parents on this? That's a cardinal sin, my friends. This is why I call it treason, because they want to overthrow the liberties, what we have as our heritage, to the enemies, whether it's foreign or domestic. And according to Florida Constitution, I gotta let this go take some time here. Okay, here it is. Oh, hey, there it is. I believe it's called treason, if I'm correct. Article 1, Section 20. Oops. Yeah, guys, do a couple links here and there, so bear with me, folks. All right, says right here on treason, Article 1, Section 20 to be exact. It is actually, come on, there it is. Treason against the state shall consist only in levying war against it, adhering to its enemies, or give them aid and comfort. And no person shall be convicted of treason except on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. And they may claim they want to keep everything hush-hush to the parents. Access to public records. Every person, this is subsection A, every person has the right to inspect or copy any public record made or received in connection with official business of any public body, officer, or employee of the state or person acting on their behalf, except with the records exempted pursuant to section specifically made by confidential by its Constitution. So it doesn't matter if it's county, municipality, district, constitutional officer, entity, and all that. So they want to keep this hush-hush. Another disturbing trend they're trying to do. Keep everything concealed. And just to let them know, my friends, what they're doing is violating their oath of office and register voters as well. Okay? On Article 2, Section 5 of our Florida Constitution, we hit subsection B. Each state and county officer, before entering upon the duties of the office, shall give a bond as required by the law, or in shall swear or affirm, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and the government of the United States and of the state of Florida, that I'm duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of the title school board on which I am now about to enter. So help me God, and thereafter shall devote personal attention to the duties of office and continue in office until a successor qualifies. So, and what you folks can do, any of these school board members, I believe Runcie may be in there too, I doubt it, but he's a registered voter, he lives in Florida, so he has an oath as well. But you can go look at those documents, you can pick them up, those oath of affidavits, and bring them to the next meeting. Hey, explain this. If you're promoting this, why are you contradicting your oath of office? And if they want to screw around, do a recall vote here, which is under Florida Statute 100.361. It gives you a whole rundown how to do a recall, and it only works on local officials, county, city, municipality. It gives you the whole rundown on that. So I'll leave that up here, the memo as well. And hey, I recommend everyone out here to contact your email the board on this matter and explain to them why are you not giving them the basic remedies on educating them, preparing themselves, and giving them treasonous propaganda. Email the board, so I'm going to leave that link on my Spreaker page as well. Okay, you get all the information there. I'm not going to leave anyone behind, or no excuses by any means. But the truth of the matter is, folks, this is unacceptable. I've always been, always love your neighbors and all that, don't get me wrong, but this is actually contemptuous, unacceptable, and I dare call it treasonous. Anyone in that board, would you please prove me wrong if you dare? I would love to hear your defense on this matter. And that will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or something that's interesting, want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to McCorm. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these articles on my Spreaker page. And if you want to email me, you can hit me at LokiLuckNumbers03@protonmail.com. If you want to donate, you can hit me at PayPal.me or Cash.app/LokiLuckNumber3. If you want to support FreeFlorida.me, that would be greatly appreciated. I think his name is Chris Nelson. I always forget his name. Good grief. You can smack me later, brother. I love you too. All right, hold on here. I think his name is Chris Nelson. Hey, I can thank Mr. Nelson for actually putting this out. Yep, Chris Nelson. Thank you, brother, for putting this out. I deeply appreciate it. And hopefully we'll spread this thing like fire, all right? Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love. And may your guardian spirits be with you.